fam? I'm at Starbucks as per usual for my coffee and worship live set. Um, I don't have much to talk about today. I'm trying to change up my coffee and worship because I think it's weird to just like come on here and sing. Like, don't get me wrong, I love singing. I love it. I'll do it all day if you let me, and have done it all day, just not where y'all can sing. Uh, and I don't mind worship, but there's something that I feel like exists in corporate worship that is very beneficial for our souls. Like when we come together and we rejoice and we come together and we worship, I think it's creates something beautiful, and it's a sweet smelling savor to God in heaven, and he comes and he rests in our praises, and it's just there's something so wonderfully beautiful about that. It's never going to change my mind on that. I think corporate worship is beautiful. Um, Also, the downside to corporate worship is it is less intimate. So, like, while I am advocating for corporate worship, you do need to know how to worship on your own, right? Because, like, he inhabits the praises of his people, but he also inhabits your praises, like you specifically. And especially if you're going through something and you need God to come, like, he comes in worship, he comes in praise. Like, that's what knocked the walls of Jericho down. So, just something to keep in mind. Um, I have a small testimony. Last Saturday, I went to the FAMU game, which Ride or Die Rattler right here. I absolutely love FAMU. And it was the worst day. It was the absolute worst game I've ever been to. Not because we lost, we won. Um, it was homecoming, and it was supposed to be a lot of fun. But one of the things that happened was there's so much that happened. Hold on, let me back up and unpack. So for starters, we get there kind of early. It's homecoming. The city is packed. All the streets are like full, and I'm looking for parking, and I find parking by this church. I think it's called First Initiative Baptist Church off of Osceola Street. I could be getting the name wrong. If I am, I apologize. I'm sorry. But I love the people there. Thank you so much. But anyway, after I park at the church, I'm with my little cousin and we're walking, and not even 15 minutes later, guys, I lose my keys. I lose the key to my car in a not so very public street on my way to the stadium. And it's just like, hmm, like what do you say? What do you say to that? I didn't really have a response. And so I prayed. I did this prayer that I don't know, maybe it was a little weird, but I was like, God, give me supernatural eyes so that I could find my keys. Guess what did not happen? I didn't get supernatural eyes to find my keys. No, no, not at all. My keys stayed lost. My keys stayed lost. I went back and I retraced my steps. Couldn't find them. Absolutely terrible. Now I'm upset, but I'm like, whoo, woosah, goose fraba. I'm going to calm down, and I'm going to make sure that I can still have a good time at this game. Um, so then my tickets, electronic. I try and download them. Tickets don't download. Tickets don't download. And I can't get into the games. Now I'm upset. Now I am upset because I got my baby cousin. My tickets didn't download. I've lost the key to my car. And it's like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? So I'm like a little stressed out at this point. I can make no phone calls. So I have family in the game and they don't know that I'm stuck outside. Like, and we can't call each other. We can't call each other to be like, hey, something's going on. I'm stuck outside. So I walk from the stadium to like the end of the street, which is at least like, I want to say it's about half a mile, maybe a little more. But I have to walk this way in order to get a call out. And when I get a call out, I'm like a little miserable, but I'm trying to like be strong for my baby cousin, who is a trooper, by the way. She was like, I'm still having fun. Let's go visit some vendors. I was like, you're better than me. I lost my key and I'm out here outside of the game while everybody's inside of the game having a good time. And you're like, I'm gonna have a good time anyway. And I was like, I just want to be like you when I grow up. She's 15, by the way. She's much younger than me. But anyway, she was having a great time. And I was just confused. And I was like, okay, well, God, if she can have a good time, I can have a good time. So I finally get a call through to my mother, and she's like, "What? You don't have any tickets?" She doesn't really sound like that. But that's what I think she sounds like in my head sometimes. Uh, and she's like, this lady just gave me some tickets, and I'm gonna give them to you. Come get them. We're gonna reach through the gate. Stay on the phone with me until you get these tickets." I'm like, cool. We had just bought all this vendor stuff though, right? So then I gotta walk back to the stadium, a little over half a mile, grab the tickets, and then we figure out that like she can't take any of the stuff that we bought from the vendors in the game. So then we have to walk back out like half a mile in order to call her mother and ask her to get all the stuff that we bought from the vendors so that she can go into the game finally. Meanwhile, I am also trying to like find service so that I can call for a tow truck or something to unlock my car. Um, I finally get that claim in, and then like, oof, it's hard to explain. It's hard to explain. Ah, I have to spend $95, guys, to get my car unlocked, which is hurtful because it was like $95 that I didn't really have to spend. Um, so that that hurt a lot. But for some reason, I asked them to do to unlock my car instead of get a tow. And I want to say for some reason, but I feel like it was the Holy Spirit that was like, just don't worry about it. Just don't worry about this. I got you. And I was like, okay, okay. But we get into the game and then we have to leave early. So we didn't get in the game till late, till like third quarter. And then we had to leave like at the end of third quarter so I could go meet the locksmith who was unlocking my car so I could at least get into it. Um, and I was like, I don't know what to do from here, but I'm gonna go meet this locksmith. So me and my baby cousin, we leave early. We go meet the locksmith. Then we get there and we still can't call anybody. Like, and the locksmith is calling me, but I can't call out. And I think it's because of the amount of people in one area. It's just not really allowing me to make any phone calls, to send any texts. And so I am super stressed out. I'm like, okay, God, I don't understand why you're trying me like this. I don't know what I did. Like, you ever feel like Job and you're like, I don't know what I did to you? Like, I thought I was good. I don't know what I did to you to make you treat me this way. Like, what is going on? But I went back with the lady in the church and we just started talking and I was like, you know what? I could really just get mad. I really could get mad and have a pissy attitude and be all upset. But who would that help? Nobody. My keys would still be lost. I was like, I prayed about it. I don't know how God gonna figure it out, but God gonna figure something out. And then after sitting down with her, I try and go back outside again, and I try and make another phone call. My phone's not working, but Sister Maggie, her phone is working, and so she calls the tow truck guy. Um, and then he's like, "Oh, I was just about to leave." Not the tow truck guy, the locksmith. "I was just about to leave. I'm glad you caught me. I'm gonna come unlock your car," because I had given him the wrong address. I was like, "Ooh, I'm like off by like 7." Um, but he ended up walking to where I was, unlocking my car so I could at least get my stuff out if I needed to. And then the moment when he came, I got a text from one of my mom's friends saying, "Your mama found your keys. We found your key." And I was like, I didn't even need a locksmith. If I would have just prayed and waited on God, I wouldn't have spent $95. But it's still a valuable lesson learned, right? Like, I feel like in the moment where I was like able to determine my response, in the moment where I was able to make a choice about how I would respond, like, I'm going to respond in a godly way. Like, this might look bad, but I know God can fix it. So I'm not going to worry about it. And I literally turned it over to God. That's when He answered my prayers. Like, literally, right after I made that decision, they found my keys. Now, I had been looking all day since like 2 a.m. It is now, I don't know, all days, like not 2 a.m., 2 p.m., but all day essentially for these keys. Right. And then I had given up hope and I was like, I don't know. Right. But God kept my car. It didn't get stolen. It didn't get broken into. Somebody returned my keys. My mom picked it up at the gate and then they called me and gave them to me. And God is just, He's good. He saw over that whole situation from beginning to end. And I didn't think it was going to work out that way. And so I'm going to submit to you all that even though your situation isn't working out the way that you think it should work out, know that God is still working it out. God has a plan, right? He has a master plan. And it doesn't matter what turns you take, which way you try to go, like, He'll have you on track, even if you feel like you've lost track. He works it out. And just trust and believe in that on today. And that's my testimony that, God works it out. I found my key. I didn't have to spend 300 and something dollars for a new key fob or a tow, right? Like, I was looking at like $600 in the expenses. So the fact that I only spent 95, I technically didn't have to spend if I would have waited on the Lord. But that's all that I had to spend, point blank period. It's still a win in my book because it was looking rough for you, girl. But God makes a way. All right. That's it for my coffee and worship moment. Um, Not that they're paying me to say this, but go to the Starbucks nearest you. They have this lovely caramel brulee latte, which is delicious. It's like Christmas in a cup. It's great. Anyway, bye, worship fam.